Hello friends, it seems that this topic has excited you. Based on your feedback, I am encouraged to go deep into this topic today. So the idea is that today we will discuss the kind of terminology we will use in this session, and it starts with this idea of whole idea of acceptance. And we all know that to improve on something we need to accept the reality. So similarly, my suggestion for you to work on a relationship is these discussion point we will use in this presentation, in this session, they should be used with this idea of getting up in the morning and accepting the reality and then work on it. And if you're cribbing about past and the kind of relationship you have, I think the first step for you is to start the feeling of acceptance, to cultivate that idea of acceptance. Otherwise, there's no way ahead. Secondly, we will also discuss about the eligibility concept for relationships. So there are some relationship where we just happen to be there, like the kind of siblings we have, the kind of parents we have, and the kind of kids we have. We don't choose them; it just happened to us. So for those relationships, we will look at from this angle of opportunity they provide to us. But for those relationships where we get into with our whole sort of thinking and making decisions and taking into all the other variables into the consideration, the eligibility is essentially that whether you have what others need and before expecting what you want from others. So when you go to a shop and you're interested in something to get from that shop, you need to carry the kind of currency that shop owner appreciate, otherwise you're not eligible. So similarly, eligibility is a broad sort of concept than the rights. So you might get a right to get married after the age of 18 in India, but the eligibility to get married and to have life partner includes many other variables. So we need to have that sort of stability and that sort of mindset and whole lot of other variables. So the eligibility for any relationship, I would define it like you have what others need before you go out and seek what you lack. And the best case scenario is that you just want to give away. So we will discuss that kind of concept in this session. Similarly, why do we need a relationship? So is it a need at a level of soul? Is it a need of the soul? So circumstances give you that kind of relationship, so you fulfill your potential when somebody complement that need, or you are looking for a relationship, or you look for a relationship at the level of mind, and that essentially mean want. So you feel that without that you will not be able to survive, and you feel that you are coming from this standpoint of lacking something. So, or do you actually don't even think at the level of mind and just think out at the level of body? So you just want, you are just sort of serving the desire at a level of body by getting into a relationship. So basically this whole discussion will mostly cover relationship at the level of need, and how we get in, how we happen to be in a relationship to fulfill something we fundamentally need to be uncovered or discover in our personality. And we will also discuss this whole idea of reciprocity. So unless we believe that we are complementing or adding some value in the relationship for others, I think if you don't believe in this concept of reciprocity in the relationship and just want to extract something out of relationship, this session you will not find it useful. And this whole idea of purpose of a relationship. So before we come to the idea of purpose of relationship, we need to explore that purpose. So what I'm trying to say that if we accept that relationships are there to explore something, then we need to be very careful and observant, and we shouldn't be blinded by this whole emotions and intoxications of different kind of the feeling of proud, the feeling of basically that I have so much money, I have so much beautiful, great body, I have so much knowledge, I have so much fame. So if we are blinded by all those things, it will be very difficult for us to explore the possibilities of relationships. So we will use this lens of exploration to talk about relationships. and this whole idea of what is the goal, what is the purpose of relationship. So the hypothesis which I want to propose is that every relationship exists to help us have a better version of yourself, to help us to a higher level of awareness and possibilities for us. And to make it happen, we really need to have a very aligned, a good level of alignment in all the relationship. And if we don't find that alignment, it will be a struggle, and it will take a lot of friction, and it will generate a lot of heat, and that will create a lot of stress. So our continuous effort should be essentially to have that alignment. So I look forward to work with you and discuss these concepts at a level of each kind of relationship we discussed yesterday, and possibly chalk out some of the strategy which we will use by getting up in the morning and starting with the acceptance, and then checking our eligibility, and then understanding whether I'm serving my need, want, or desires, and then we will accept that we need to be reciprocal in the relationship, and every day we are exploring something in the relationship to make a better version of yourself. So friends, look forward to be with you on this journey, and please share your suggestion and some ideas, to make this session exciting. Thank you very much. Good night.